Morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I actually had to spin around this morning. I put a long sleeve Carhartt on and I was still cold. It's 43. So I mean, we're on the verge of frost here at night, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's getting chilly. I just realized I didn't show you guys the final result of this lagoon last night. Show you guys what it looks like with it all empty. So I figured I'd show you quick. So here's what we got. I counted down on the stick over there, and I think we've got about 3 to 3.5 feet of sand down there. But that's all the liquid. I mean, I was able to get 99% of it out, probably more than that. Last night you could see how it just, it seeps in a little bit. So there's a little bit there, but not anything worth firing up over. So today I'll get that pulled out of there and unhooked, I think. One thing we did change that when we're building the new lagoon, it was kind of a request by me. You could see over here this curb that you back over. On this lagoon, it's a 12-inch curb. Didn't think about it when the engineer had it drawn up. And you could see the tongue sets right on it. And also now this hose is perfectly level down here, but it's going to go up over it a foot. So when I'm trying to drain it out, I don't want the manure left out here. So I'll pop it off here and kind of hang it over, and I'll try to just walk the manure out. But that's kind of a pain being 12 inches. So the new lagoon's only going to be 6, which is the minimum you're allowed in the state of New York via OSHA. I don't understand why, because there's no curbs or anything up here. But something about where you back the pump in, there has to at least be a little bit of a curb. So it's going to be half as big though, so it's not going to be near as bad. But yeah, we'll get that all unhooked. Another view of a sunrise here this morning. Gonna get this barn cleaned up and figure out what we got going on today. It's like the deer are enjoying my seating here. Oh guys, a little update on where the corn is at. Still setting at 35, so still on the wetter side, but still within range. The field they're doing right now is definitely bringing that down a little bit, but the yield is up. We're up to almost 22 tons to the acre, 21.64. So that's good. Total wet tons so far, we're setting at 5,216 tons. So that ain't too shabby. I think last year we put in 13,000. Probably looking at closer to 14 or 15 this year. So fuel usage 821 gallons total so far. So we're burning the fuel. I don't know if that's just for corn. Yeah, I believe that should be, because over here it's at the corn harvest 2024. So should be good right there. So that's just a quick update, guys, as to where we're at with that. All right, guys. So the plan right now is there really is no plan. So I'm gonna just kind of try to get ahead for any future things that we got to get done. I'm gonna get this manure truck taken back up behind the new barn, so that's out of the way. I'm gonna get the manure lagoon pump, hose, and load stand back down into our earthen lagoon. Because I'm imagining, I don't know about this afternoon, but possibly tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to have to start spreading. We've still got a lot of fields that I would like to get covered if I've got the manure, which there is manure in this earthen lagoon, just not a lot, but 20 loads is 20 loads. So I'm going to have that all set up so when I can go there. I got to get our 9320 hooked on to our speed tiller so I can start working ground. I was hoping to do that today, but haven't quite got there yet. So What else? I don't know. There's a handful of jobs. Get the drill back hooked up. Get the grain cart hooked onto our second 8330. That fan shroud is fixed. The fan bearing. Because I've got to go get our triticale seed with that tractor and grain cart. So, yeah, just tag along here. It's kind of going to be a hodgepodge of a day for me here, but we'll get it all straightened out. All right, guys. Well, here's the mess that we have right now. Got a bad corner wheel, and we've got a totally shot alley scraper cable. So we are running a new cable out as we speak. So the way that these work is there's 4 sleds off of our one drive unit. So they all dump in the middle. So there's one going this way, and at the other half of the barn, the sled's backing up. Then on the opposite side, it's coming back towards us. So this one's going that way, that side's coming back. They're both working their way back. So they work on opposite sides. They come up here to the corner wheel, which is clearly built up and being semi-neglected because we are busy doing corn. So they go up into the corner wheel, they wrap around here, and they go inside there, and then we clamp them there. So right now, it's spooling this side up because that's coming back in. So it's pulling that side in, and the way it's supposed to be working is this cable would generally be on this half of the drum, and it would be unrolling, letting it go out. But this has a sensor right here. So if this cable's built up, bunched up, starts to fray, anything like that, that'll lift up, kicks that sensor, and trips the machine off, which is exactly what happened. So this is kind of a slow process, but we are gonna get it unwrapped. Once that gets to the end, this will stop. We'll pull enough extra off of the roll to go around the corner wheel and in, and we'll get it threaded on there. And then on the drive unit, or the drive unit, on the sled themselves, there's like a come-along gear that you tighten it down, and you can adjust the sleds one way or the other based off of how tight you have the cable on that. We can show you that later on, potentially here. What do you think, girls? Huh? No good, huh? Yeah, so that's what we're up to. It never fails when we're short-staffed. These things act up. I'll be honest with you, the other farms I've worked at when I was in college and whatnot didn't have alley scrapers. They also didn't have sand. I was anti-alley scraper the first couple of years of being back at the home farm. Because when they break, they're annoying, they're a pain in the butt, yada, yada, yada. It wasn't until this winter when we built the new barn that we have to scrape with skid steers that you really realize how much time they actually do save. They're a miserable pain when they break, but when they're running, they do save a lot of time. They do save a lot of hours on the skid steers. I know some of the other drive units, the James Ways, stuff like that, are running like a log chain setup now, or maybe they always have. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing it for the first time. Seems a little more durable than this cable, I'll be honest with you. The whole system's nice because the dealership is a mile down the road, so any parts or anything like that we've got right there. But I definitely like the log chain with like the gutter cleaner. I think it's got like a, you know, like a gear on it that drives it. I think, pretty sure that's how it worked when I saw one at a buddy's farm. And to tighten it up, you just take links out of it, I believe. I kind of liked that better than this setup, but this setup is here, and for the most part, it works just fine. So while this is running that cable out, I'm just taking a screwdriver and getting any little ridges off of this thing here. It's actually not that bad. It was kind of unfortunate. This is actually the cable that looked to be in worse shape, Jack said, but Um, yeah, you kind of get some sand build up on these things. Manure. That's a problem with these machines. I mean, they're literally anything to do with manure and sand. You're gonna have, you know, just build up and pain. And there are grease fittings on these, and we do grease them. But you see, you just get these little ridges here. Just trying to get that cleaned up so when the new cable goes on, at least it's got a clean slate to start off on. All right, so that sled's all the way back, which means this sled is as far that way as it's gonna go. So the cable, we gotta get a rough estimate. It's gotta come, I believe it's gotta come under and in. And from there, it gets wrapped around this, just like that the other side is. So I gotta get, I don't know, probably cut it off up in there somewhere. All right, so we got that cable all threaded. You can see it goes in here. I take this big wrench and we will just tighten it up as we go. Kind of see what I mean by little gear drive. You just tighten it and then that little latch goes down in, holds it tight. So he just pulled it that way. Now he's going to bring it back towards me. And I am going to tighten it up again. You got to run it back and forth a few times when you first get it started here, just to get all the slack pulled out of it. Alright, well, it's coming on. Ideally those would be a little closer together, but as this one comes on, this one comes off, so it'll eventually just work its way across, and probably after running a couple times it'll tighten itself up together. But you can see how much thicker the new cable is compared to the old, just how much that's worn down. But anyway, we are back to cleaning barn. Not worrying about it. Nice cow right there. Nice Hancock daughter over there too. That's a nice Helix coming at us. Nice Delta daughter. Yeah, handful of nice cows here. Yeah, so after the day I had, I was like, you know what? We just ran out of water again because it's so hot out and our wells suck. So we were gonna go get a load of water, and Tyler said, you know, I wouldn't mind a break hauling silage for an hour. If you want, I'll go get water, you haul silage. I said, all right. I said, I've been screwing with broken stuff all day long. Why don't I? He said, I'll haul corn for a couple hours. That'd be fun. KP blew a bearing, we're assuming. It's really hot in there. The belt looks fine, so I'm assuming something's not turning right in there. John Deere can't be out here until the morning. We're gonna take that back, get that machine cleaned off and cooled off. Got some white hairs coming in. Gosh, I'm getting old. Yeah, so we're gonna go get that cooled off and figure that out now. So it seems as though anything I try to do today, yeah, it's after 5 o'clock too. I know there probably wasn't a whole lot of content today. I got sweat in my eyes, I'm sweating, I'm a total mess. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of content just because everything I tried to do failed. That's part of farming, but and I really didn't have a lot of time to get it on film. I was just, trying to get stuff fixed up so I can keep going. We had to move some calves around this morning too, which I didn't film because we were hustling right along trying to get it done. And on the bright side, this corn, that's hellacious corn. That's probably a foot taller than the truck, and Chopper's got it at 37. I know earlier the clip showed 35. That was the average for the year, so I was able to look up the fields. We had a field he chopped a couple, I think this was Saturday. Jeez. A little rough on these headlands. The field he chopped Saturday was 32. That was only a 10-acre field, but it's just a wet, swampy one, so he wanted to get it done and off, and we'll put triticale on it. I got all the shields for the chopper in the truck. Makes it a little hard to shift. Got the old 79. Yeah, just not a productive day. But what are you gonna do? That's part of it. Wish I could have got more on film. Who knows? The way today's going, we might get more broken stuff to look at. But yeah, shields popped out of gear. We'll get back to you guys. Well, guys, more good news. Alley scraper's kicking off, but it's not the one that I changed the cable on. It's the other drive unit. This one says overload. So I'm assuming it's catching on something down on the grates. Sometimes enough stuff gets wore out where the wings on it will catch on something. It can be the smallest little fraction of concrete or metal. Tyler's running down right now to check on it. Once he's down there, I'll back it up, send it that way, and he can see what it's catching on. Yeah, today, hell yeah, not. I didn't explain it earlier, but how this thing changes what direction it goes in is this thing. When it hits this, that engages it to stop, sends it the other way. It'll hit this, send it the other way. So if you want to reverse it, you just got to manually slide that side to side. All right, so I guess the best outcome that could have happened, all that happened is it's so dry, and being that we bedded stalls today, the cows kick a little bit extra out. There's just a bunch of dry manure and sand from where the cows kicked it out, and it was just an actual overload, too much weight on the system. So that's actually good. 9 times out of 10, the overload actually means something's catching, something's hooked somewhere. There's an actual problem, but this was just an actual overload. So yeah, that worked out pretty well, I think. Once he gets that, he's got the skid steer. I don't think you can see him. He's got the skid steer and the rubber scraper. Tongue twister. And he's just kind of getting that all pushed to the center and just helping out, take some of that weight and torque off of the system. Sometimes if it's real dry like this too, those grates only have gaps about yay big. Sometimes they'll start to build up and the manure won't flow down through them very well. That could be what's going on here too. All right, guys. So we're down here with the chopper. The whole KP is gonna have to come out in the morning. It's the pulley on the side. The bearing's completely gone out of it. So to end the day, to lighten the mood, here's Tyler with the joke of the day.
So a priest, a monk, and a rabbit walk into a blood drive. And the rabbit says, "I think I'm a type O."
Is this ad? It took me a minute to to understand that. It was a good one once I understood. That was a good one. A little bit of humor to end another rough day. I shouldn't say another. We haven't had a rough day in like a few days now. So yeah, tomorrow's a new day. We're gonna get the disc hooked up in the morning. Gonna do that. John Deere sending out a guy with the right bearing. Hopefully. He said it could be one of two bearings. He doesn't know which one our machine is. The numbers are not on there. Whether they're just caked behind stuff. but that pulley got so banged up from the bad bearing that it may have wrecked the numbers. So we're gonna wing it, and hopefully the one that he's got is the right one. If not, he wasn't sure where the right one is, so that's not good, but we will figure that out. Regardless, John Deere will be out to work on the chopper, and I should have time to get the disc hooked up, potentially start working ground. If I start working ground and the chopper's still not fixed, the guys will have time to start picking some stone. Maybe one of them could take over for me disking, and I can get the drill back hooked up, get the merger box out of that tractor, put back in the other tractor, get the 8330 on the grain cart, potentially go get seed. Yeah, it's going to be another hectic day, guys. But it is what it is, and that's farming. So, hope you guys got something out of this video. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.